will forgive me, I get disturbed. How when you want your hustle to be known by people, you use people. Which people you don't care about, which people you don't love. Why is it that it's so easy to just walk away and you look the other side after getting what you want? Because this is what the devil wants. That me, I get annoyed and I look the other side, and God is giving me an assignment to take care of his people. Then I look the other side. How does that work? Men and women of God who have been in this thing so long, can you please come out and help me? You're helping the kids who are next to you. You're helping your own children. Can you please tell me? Because I'm not new in church. The old men and women in the land know me. You're helping your kids. Then you come out and conclude on people that they are mad. I see it. I've seen this in the music industry. This is not a church, I told you. And when people are hurting, you just shut them up. Then you sit there and you say you're starting up programs to help people who are depressed. Here, people are taking their lives. Why should they take their lives? Because they are not loved enough. They're not cared for enough. We just use people. And you're not changing. How are we going to work together? Some don't even want to work with anyone. Because when they have a big following, they are settled. They had their conference, they'd had their anniversary, everything was successful. The rest is none of their business. Twafulumizza oluyimba olupya lutambudde. I'm sorry to say this, but every person I touched, in whose things I touched, starting 2020, they were not known. They were not known on a big scale. When I touch in your things like this, the Lord expounds it. And someone sits there and is like, Esther, just walk away. How do I walk away? How do you do that when God is the one sending you to do that? Moses was given an assignment. Did Israel know Moses' parents? Because our lifestyle is in the Old Testament and you're telling me you're in the grace. You're teaching about Moses. I see you, and I'm like, does this person understand who Moses was? Does this person understand who Moses was? I started doing audios and sending people audios about inheritance and other things, because I saw we are fighting amongst ourselves with a lot of ignorance. And the love of God has left family. It has left church because people are not taken care of. They leave church. They leave Christ. When you're an evangelist, you bring as many as you can. But the new ones you're bringing in, you're bringing the new entrants into a team of people who are broken already. As a pastor, I know you get tired, trust me. I'm a PK. For you even have a car. You even have a phone. Someone puts your data. Someone pays your rent. Someone buys you clothes. My dad's time. Those who are on that generation of the people, the first generation of the 70s, the Chiwempe part of the story. Some are just giving you bits. My home church was given birth to when my dad is already in service. The Lord calls him into service as an elder in church this year, and after a year, my home church is given birth to. And it's the first papyrus, the first church to have a papyrus in Uganda. I know what I'm talking about. For you, you never saw the papyrus. And at 27, from 19 to 27, how many years are those? Those are 8 years. Because after 8 years, my dad marries. And immediately they give birth to me. His father died when he was 8. So his father missed out from 8 to 67 this year. His dad would be 90. The things they went through as orphans. And now there were orphans whose mothers are not with them. Some people were with their mother. Right now I have 2 grandmothers who are still living. They are supposed to be 4. My grandmother and the wife of the covenant. There are things old people have done that have brought pain in the family. When the people who are current, they don't know the history. I am requesting you, please sit your kids down and tell them the truth. I have struggled and been painted and tainted bad in the family. Yet it's their fault. Some of the parents reached a point of telling their kids who are older than me never to talk to me again. When the mother to their husbands, the mother to their wives. I carry the names. They had a private meeting, and the lady asked her children to choose a hair because she never wanted them to stay there and say that she chose a hair they don't want. I was told the nitty-gritties that people don't know. My getting the names, she was choosing someone to take on their own legacy to the next level, not to take inheritance. They dictated my life for 31 years until when God was like, I need her. I created her for service. I created her for service. I need her. Enough of you taking over. The Lord allowed it because the person inside me that He created. Some of you have not been able to stand the power I come with for 3 good years. Most of you haven't even yet recovered. Because I'm a girl, when I put my step down like this, I leave a mark on people's hearts. It comes natural. These parents who are telling their kids not to talk to me, kids who are older than I am 38 years of age, making 39. They stand and boldly tell the kids, Ntimba tabula. People who attended my birthday, my first birthday, in Jinja, in Mbiko. I want another child to come out who is older than I am. And they did a birthday party for you. And they called the entire clan, almost. Right now you're having birthdays. You're having birthdays and you call your friends. I'm looking at your child. Right now, don't look at me. The Lord asked me to use my life experience to help someone out there who is giving up. Someone who is broken. Someone who is depressed. I went into a depression on the 3rd, from the 3rd of November 2017. The devil saw that I'm soon getting, because number 7 is restoration. Family came out and attacked. They had meetings about me. The whole of 2018, I went silent. We had a fight with my own nuclear family because that's what the devil wants. I was put on a call and I was told, Esther, no, not, why is it that everyone is complaining? 1, 2, 3 people are complaining. What is wrong with you? Now I left the nation when I don't talk. When I was thrown out in Lawrenceville, I asked the Lord, where do I go? I sent a message to my family, which they never replied till death. That is a topic they cannot even talk about. And people who are old in age at home think we are working so well abroad with my family members. And I have to pretend to protect other people. Because some people are very old back at home. Their hearts will just break. Because they know what my grandfather meant to the family. They know what I meant to the family. Those that carry history to the next level, legacies. I never chose this. The Lord also loves good things. You have children, you have grandchildren, and you don't have a solution to some who have problems. There are people who have left church because they have not been loved. They have not been involved in things. Pastor has a clique in church. They have parties and he calls that a small clique. Pastor, don't call the clique. And if you do a party of your clique, please don't release photos. Be sensitive for once. If you're to do a party celebrating a pastor, do it at the pulpit. Let everyone enjoy that small cake. That is the love of Christ. If you know you're a leader, people love you, but don't show us your private wing, which is selfish. Mind about people's hearts and how they feel. If you are a leader, you're the one who teaches others how to push to the next level. As a mother, there are things I don't expect you to say when you're doing well, because there is someone who put a platform for you to stand. You did not see me when a white man is praying for me. And he had to chase out people I walked with who were dead, who had walked with me for 31 years. I was robbed off. 31 years. In 31 years, you who has kids who are 30. What has your child done at 30? And you who claims to be old in age, when you were 30, what did you do? At 31, my mother had already had 4 kids. And my dad fell sick. At 31, I was joining the university. My mother was 31, because she's 7 years younger than my dad. No, she was 41. I want you to tell me, you say you're old in age. You did not become old. You did not just jump 30. At 30, Jesus was starting to serve. Now I want you to be honest with me and tell me, pastors, you did not understand Ephesians 4. Church is supposed to be on top of the other spheres. I understand a pastor gets sick. I understand a pastor has no money. Trust me, I know you, because you're not working. You don't have a job, but you have work. Your work is to serve God. Back in the day, the likes of Pastor Peterson Sozi, the late Stephen Kawesa, Pastor Elijah Chinto, because he came into service officially when I was 1. When he started when I'm not yet 1, because my 1 is November. There are many you don't know, by the way, who are still walking right with the Lord, but they don't have even a roof over their head. Has their friends looked for them? There is a man called God. He's the first man to sow witchcraft, which was coming from my mother's side. Whoever did it wanted my mother to go into the shrine. So they were like, we cannot attack this woman. She's saved. At the time, my mother must have been, because she gave birth to me at 21. Because I was 2 years. So 23. You have a child who is 23. And she gives birth to a baby who is being disturbed healthy-wise. I used to swell. I would swell and I look like a formless being. Some people saw me at the university in my first year. My 2 roommates, Vicky and Rose, saw me. My cell leaders, Andrew Tugume and Levi Jondo, they are civil engineers. They were leaders. I have very beautiful memories with people. But do you think right now they can see me? Do you know that most of my leaders in school blocked me because of the gospel? I saw Watoto kids that I was with in school, especially Mengo and Chambogo. Watoto is what? What does it represent? Serving the hurting world. What does the word hurting mean? You know, you have church titles. You have titles, you have visions. Healing the hurting world. Miracle Center has that. Watoto has that. But why is it that we have people who are serving at Watoto and they behave like their circle only involves Watoto people? Miracle Center, their circle is Miracle Center. Yes, Wakwagala the same. You have names. And I'm like, is Christ coming back to take your church titles, your ranks? People are in church and they are hurting. On the 18th of February, we are going to go to Rest TV. Healing a wounded heart. When someone is wounded, they can kill. They can kill. They can kill. I have worked with men and women who are wounded since they were children. There are married people who are wounded in that they get their anger from their marriage. I have been a victim of friends who were wounded in their marriages, and they made me pay for their own mistakes. And I'm like, how does that even work? I have spent 6 years without talking to you, or actually now 12. You blocked me, yet once back in the day, we were tight. But someone said things that are uncoordinating, when I don't even have a clue about it. Then you start to punch me. I'm like, guys, don't punch. Because I'm the type who you punch, God is going to bring back the punch. Many of my friends have been punched, and they don't know that the punch came from me. Don't read the Bible and use it the way you want. If you're in leadership, I never told the Lord that we should meet. I did not tell the Lord that. I never asked the Lord when I was being given birth to. Me choosing the schools I went to. It is my parents. And Tata did that because those are schools they went to. My mother went to Rubaga girls. My going to those schools, I qualified. They never called anyone. Or I did not see my father go to Mengo and he negotiates my going to Mengo. Me, I was called. Going to the Terry Day and boarding primary school. I did my interview and I passed very, very well. And I got the place. Me going to my university, I got 13 points. I don't know anyone in government to call them to get me a position in the university. Everything of mine has been on merit, because you would say, Esther, we know your family, they called the president. I asked some people that how do they choose? What criteria do they use when they are giving us on government sponsorship? Because I've heard very weird words of how the president controls the scholarships. And I'm like, how does he do that? I hear him and his wife. And I'm like, yeah, my goodness, how does he do that? Does he even know how it works? He's working with the people. I did not say he's an innocent man, but whatever has happened to the nation has been contributed by NRM, FDC. Now NOPO is another small thing from I don't know where. But we never had NOPO anywhere. NOPO has people who come from these other parties who are very, very tired, and they think they can use that ground to shout and abuse. Unfortunately, NOPO, I'm very sorry. You will not get the presidential seat until when you don't turn away from your wickedness. When you want to pass on an information, I want you to learn how to talk to people when you're civilized. The positions you guys want, they don't take rowdy people. They don't take people who don't have this. That is not how you're going to run the country. I am so sorry. You want that position, you're going to work harder than just shouting and abusing the people. Because that is a mountain. But government is contributed to by all of us. We work with the president. He's the lead. He's the lead. I was never taken to any school to study what I talk about. I am a trained leader. You contributed to it. You who cannot talk to me right now. You who blocked me. You who doesn't have my time. You did the training. Thank you. I appreciate. Trust me. And I am very glad the Lord talked to you about my life that you don't remember. It is not my fault to come from the family I come from. We don't choose family. We choose friends who don't understand the word friend. We just step on people to become what we are today. And we forget easily. When Israel forgot what God did for them, they died in the wilderness, all of them. The only people that reached Canaan were the kids who were given birth to on the journey. Isn't it what is happening to you right now? Why are the old people dying very fast? The young blood, there is a way. I look and I'm like, and you sit there and say, it was their time. Are they 120? Excuse me. Are they 120? For you, on condition your conference is done, your celebrations are done, you've been fasting and it's done, you tell people to use our platforms, and you have a party, your wedding. When it's done, you close out. I have looked at people and I laugh. You know why? Do you know why I laugh? It is Genesis 12. I'm a source of great good to others because I'm a blessing. Which you cannot be. Otherwise, hope you're doing well. The launch of such an institution, coupled with the responsibility of a growing church, would have been sufficient for most men, but George found God burdening him more and more to do something on a permanent basis for the orphans. Because most of you, God has not put a burden on your heart. That is why you walk away. I did not come to the US like your family member. And the year was different, the month was different, and the day was different, and the time. You used Emirates, I used Brussels Airlines. You used KLM, I used Brussels. And the day the people who entered like me were very few. I remember very well because we come with envelopes. That is the day I met a lady, and she asked me if I come from the UK. She was with her husband, they were old in age. She said, hello, I saw her peep. And when you see a Caucasian peep, old in age, you know it's here where Africans we peep, kind of. When we see people, we peep. There is a way we do things. My life abroad, it's Caucasians that peep. When I had just come, a man, I was walking, minding my own business. In Uganda, I was told that the United States of America has the best glasses or spectacles, whatever you call it. Because the person was telling me, go very, very fast, you get your glasses, that's high, blah, 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 blah. I looked at the person like this, and I'm like, you're seated in Uganda, and you're telling me how hospitals in America operate, right? I just kept quiet. I have a habit. I look at you and I leave you with your thinking. You know, Ugandans, you think you know a lot because you have a relative abroad. So that's why you yap a lot, right? I kept quiet and I looked at the person and I'm like, no, I have to get my glasses because I had an appointment with my doctor, Dr. Brian Isiko in Zambia Hospital. His father, after Dr. Mugalu, by then he was seated on Uganda House in 1997. Yeah, I've worn my glasses since 1997, my dear. And my first round glasses, those who met me back in them days, the round glasses, I told my mother never to throw it out. We call it our signature look. I started going to Mengo Hospital, and I met a man called Dr. Isiko. Dr. Isiko has a son. I met Dr. Brian's father before I met Brian. When I went to Mengo, Brian Isiko came to Mengo Senior School. I was in S1, he was in S2. God connects things. I told you we met because of your kids. I met Brian's father before I met Brian because of this. God is going to look for something that connects you to someone who has something you'll need when you're of age. So be careful how you treat people. I don't think Brian had ever thought about being a doctor because he never studied well secondary school. I don't think that was his portion. Right now, Brian, he started this because of his dad. He would go and work with his father. Brian had to get serious with life. Brian right now, he's a doctor, a qualified man, doctor, with the glasses. He sits in Nsambia Hospital. His father I met him first in Mengo Hospital. Now Mengo and Lubaga Hospital and Mulago were some of the first hospitals in Uganda and Zambia. If you don't go to Nsambia is my hospital as a baby. My mother's hospital is Mulago with my dad. Now Mengo and Ruwaga. Now my mother goes to Ruwaga because for them it's a Catholic setting. My dad, Mengo, is under the Church of Uganda. And my dad is Church of Uganda. When do we have a hospital of the Pentecostals? You don't know. Okay, don't worry. I met Dr. Isiko. Then later I met his son. I started complaining about my eyes in 95 after getting a facial paralysis. When I reached primary 7, because now the books were getting tighter, I could not see because this eye was affected. It became smaller than this one. It became very weak. It would tear on its own. It is Dr. Brian Isiko who taught me that, Esther, he explained the science of the eye. Here when I went to get this, a doctor showed me my eye. Because she gave me 2 young girls. One was training, the other one is a daughter to the doctor. She's into that area. You're studying things that are in the area of your parent. And they put a thing in my eye. And I saw my eye on a screen. It is very mesmerizing. I took pictures. I should be having pictures. I'll look for them and I show you. I saw my eye. A magnification of the eye. I looked and I'm like, wow. Is that my eye really? They did pictures of my eye. In Uganda, they don't show us exactly. We met in Mengo. Then he transferred to Raga Hospital. And we started supporting their business with the little we have. It is one hospital, one place we would go to, and Dr. Isiko takes care of us with the little money we have. Then I switched and I started going to Georgina, because there is a friend I met in Mengo still. They were in S2, I was in S1, Carol Mulindwa. She's a wife to Saul Mulindwa, those who go to Miracle Center Cathedral. They were once in the Miracle Teens, the first team of the Miracle Teens. And I went there because of Carol. Carol was not a doctor, but I went there to support her. When Georgina was on Nikotorio first, then they went to Uchumi, where we have a big elephant. I went there to support her and recommend other people. That's what I do. Whether you support me or not, it's none of my business. That is your heart. And I cannot stop recommending people to go to good quality services simply because you don't support me, you don't watch my classes, you don't share them. I don't care. You have a service that people need. And me who has the love of Christ, and I sit and read the Bible and practice it, I will recommend people to come to your hustle. Whether bump love, people love me or not, watch me or not, I don't care. Whatever I do, I don't do it for them. I don't care. Whether Miracle Center Cathedral people come and watch my classes or not, I don't care. I am doing God's work. What I look at, I want you to ask the Lord to give you his eyes. I don't care whether making Jesus famous watches me or not. I don't care. Of course, I would feel good when I see the pastors there that I know. But let me tell you something. This is God's work. I cannot stop sharing you simply because for you, your character cannot reciprocate. And we all want the same thing. We want people to get out of their misery. But if for you, you choose who to support, who to love, I don't care. I don't care whether Chitibo Foundation come and watches me and tell others about me. I don't. They know where their priorities are. I don't care whether they remember my birthday or not. I don't care whether they put me in their status or not. I don't care. Do you know why? Celebrating people is part of me. It's in my legacy. I don't choose. When I get time, I put my friends. There was a time when I had a lot of, it's not that I had a lot of time. I would celebrate everyone. Now I started by, and I'm like, no, you need to front those who have impacted my life in an amazing way. When you lose a loved one, I don't choose that, now that family member of mine does not talk to me, I would not celebrate. I don't do that. I don't care whether for them they don't know how. We need to find someone who is mature in this. That is the only way we are going to go to the next level. I don't care whether Great Tabernacle shares me or not. I don't care. I've seen them share other people. I don't. They are leaders and they are old in age. They know the right thing to do. I don't care whether Kaboa Redeemed shares me or not. I don't care. Some of the kids in the church blocked me, please. And PKs that I was with in Sunday school. I don't care whether I've ever contributed to your school fees or not, or your rent, or your food, or your well-being in any way. That's not how it works. It's not a Parkway Forex Bureau. Where you come from, they never taught you how to love people God's way. But you want others to use their platforms. But I will teach you why. People are going to die because of how you treat them. I pray you are ready and willing to bury someone. But do you people even get guilty? You'll be like, what did the doctor's report say? Of course, the doctor will say, Esther Solome died of a heart attack. Esther has always had pressure. It is over 18 years, manangi. Esther has had pressure issues for 18 good years. Yes. How did it come? And if someone is hypertensive, how are they treated? Yeah, I'm talking to the leaders because I found out that leaders are doing things that are mesmerizing. Each one of you wants to gain a status. You want to be remembered. But are the seeds you're planting the right seeds? Let me tell you something. Whatever you do is your business, right? Whoever you choose to celebrate is your business. Whoever you choose to remember is your business. But it's going to be very sad. When it's time for the judgment seat. Everything you have done. Even backbiting people in your house. Everything I have done. Every word I have said about anyone in their private or public viewing, I'm going to give accountability for it. That is how you get your crown. In heaven, when God is dealing with us, he does not ask, oh, you're already in age. Heaven is for those who are children-like. tulekera okusomesa enjiri etali practical. That business of yo lwokuba oyogera nnyo ennimi n'okunkumuka. I tell you. The church is dying. Let me tell you something. Miracles. You are entitled. You know, some pastors think about tolerako. Me, when you stopped picking my calls when I call and I'm sick, I send people messages to go and they pray for my dad. And you refuse. That day I sent you messages that you create time for me. And Pastor Robert prays for my dad and you refused. Has my dad died? Do you know how sick he was? Those that I told that please go and pray for my parents and they refuse, they don't have time. Have you seen my parents die? Have you seen them go hungry? Aren't you telling us, you're teaching us how to love? You're even showing me who your family members are. And I'm like, what is family? Oh, family is your father, your mother, and your siblings, your children, and your spouse. Okay. But the last time I checked, those you're telling me that you are family members, the problems you have, I have not seen them help you solve them. When you have the worker business of selling burgers and clothes, when it is crawling, I don't see your family members helping you to raise it up. I see your friends whom you don't even know where they stay. Okay, if it's about your worker smaller family, why is it that you're putting your business on social media? How many are you in your family? No, I'm just asking. I need to understand this business of you playing selfish cards. We all have 24 hours in a day. Kati muli eyo mugenze kwegayirira nti leero olunaku lw'abeegayiriza. Ogenze kwegayirira biki? Abeegayiriza hallo? Biki by'oba ogenze okusabira gwe alina omutima ogutagala abantu okyuzingako gw'oyagala oli eyo mugenze mu kwegayirira? Omanye ebitusiba tebiva wala. N'okunkumuka tukunkumuse essaala kuva 30 paka leero naye entaana tennabunira lwaki? Ate kasita omufuta bawuwo ate bikukwatako. I tell you. Omufusi wuwo tebikukwatako. It was a day at time. Teri atagenda kufaama nnattu. Let me tell you something. When it's not you going and you're leaving your babies w'okomberera behind, I want you to, by the time you go, you're like Abraham. Bible yagambye nti no, he died a happy man. Yalina abakyala ababiri, one boy. Owokusatu 6. So there were 8 boys. And they mentioned kids of one child of Keturah and their kids they give birth to, and the other 2 boys multiplied themselves and got 13 each. Ishmael had 13, and the 13th person is a girl whom Esau married because he was annoyed. Esau had 3 women wives like his grandfather. It is in the blood. It follows. Why not? Oyina ebintu by'oyiseemu nga biva ku jjajjawo gw'otaalaba, biva ku taatawo by'ataakunyumiza. Abazadde mutuuze abaana mubabuulira amazima. Omwana atandika okugenda sleeping around ng'akimanyi nti ne taata ekintu yakikolako, ate taata n'abalimba. Omusajja wamba omwenzi omulabira ng'afudde nga baleese abaana bonna. Nedda, abaana bonna baleete nga bakyali balamu. Bayibuli egamba nti nno Ibulayimu abaana be bali ababa concubines yabawabira abo ng'akyali mulamu. Isaac gwe Katonda gwe yali amusuubizza eyali mu pulaani ya Mukama n'amuwa obusika. abasajja mulekerawo kweka abaana kati mwe bamaama nkimanyi kiruma omusajja ku betrayinga trust me naye nga tonnayomba lwaki omusajja agenda n'ali ebweru bakansalas baffe abalungi njagala tulowooza ku bino ebintu nga tuyamba abantu abatabuse mu bufumbo omanyi abasumba baffe tebajja mu kiraasi right naye bwe baba bayamba abantu they keep sides mukwano when you find two people who love each other never choose a side don't choose a side nze nina omuze wobeera n'empisa ebbi nono nabeera empisa embi I bring the two of you on the board. I have done that. The stronger teams hide. And I stay with the weak teams. My friend, if I've ever done that to you, in your misery, I was walking in an anointing you don't know. I was walking in an anointing you don't know. Munanga onosonyo challenge je mulina. Because go osomeseza omwana go mubuli ati tewali yambulira njiri. Anti nze banzaala already nkituma kiri kati. Wansanga nga busanzi wasina wairo. Omanye ekintu kyo ekitali kikyo. Kizibu okubeera nakyo obuzibu bwembalabyeko. Olw'okuba sigo wambulira enjiri. Like you love owning us. Mukwano, we are just God's work. Thank God that you've met people like us, right? If you are a leader, actually you should be very privileged. Tetuli mu lutalo. Ekintu sagala okitwale out of context. If you're guilty, you're guilty. When you're guilty, what do? They take you to prison. And how do you get out of prison? By serving your time. No, Fenna, we've all fallen short of the glory of God. We haven't treated people right. We've not loved people right. When you enter the fivefold ministries like this, you cease being you. You don't bring your emotions in this. Now you work for God. And you do according to the word of God. Yes, you follow Siki Mukano Byoyogerako. I have lived that life with my parents. When you're not even yet saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost. You've been in service less than 30 years. My friend. My father, as of this year, 47 years. And walking with the Lord, the igniting fire is 50. Before the igniting fire, my father had given his life to Christ and he suppressed it because he comes from a family. When you're being raised by somebody else, you don't just come, wah. You have to have wisdom. But he met a man who doesn't fear. For him, he was staying with his own parents. My dad was staying with his auntie. The other man was coming from a house where his mother and father are. Who was raised by his father. My dad was not raised by his father. He was not raised by his mother, even when his father was there. After they gave birth to them like this, I don't know how long Judge Amchala breastfed my dad. They took them to the palace. Back in that day, if you gave birth to children with officials in the palace, they take the child, wean you off the breast, and take you to the palace. Then when Tata started, then they gave different people responsibilities. That is what grandmothers do. It's like, my dear sweetheart Esther Solome, your brother's given birth to a child and he's not here. Take a charge. And your brother is not the mother of the child. Okay? Don't spoil things. Your brother is not married to her but is marrying another person. So take a charge. That is my father's lifestyle. Other kids were with their mothers. My father and his sister, that was their lifestyle. Oh. But his sister, after some time, she went to stay with her mother after she came back from Nairobi. Now my tata from the palace goes into people's houses. That is what happens when you're an orphan. Then other kids also were got from their mothers and brought into their relatives. Why are they doing that? Because it is your relative on the other side of your father that has the money to take care of you, because it is their responsibility. When you give birth as a man, your side has the strongest hand. Because when a woman gives birth, they don't bring back home, they take out. But our current generation, girls are taking care of their babies, Bambi. And they're all broken-hearted. And they're in church. They're in church and they don't know what to do. So on the 18th of February 2023, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., House of Rest Auditorium, former Fido Dido, will be there healing the wounded heart. Because you're wounded in different ways. Each one of us is wounded, and most of you don't know how to deal with your wounds. In that you because you're a wounded soldier, you're killing others with your broken hearts. Most of you did not grow up with your fathers. You're so bitter. And you don't know how to handle friends. Because you were never raised by your father. Your father left your mother. You have a selfish card. By the way, parents, it's you who have brought that card into people's lives. When a child does not grow up with a father, which father never grew up with a father? Hey, are you with a mother who never grew up with the mother? Hey. Omanyize mpuliriza nnyo nga mbeereyo ganneeyamba kati ze kuze ne both my parents kati mbeerawo gankolawo nti ngamba kati bano basomesa ntula nnyo mu bamplavu ngetusomesa nenneeyamba nenneetiikinga neŋŋamba kubanga bakuwa their background and the things they know they share from different people. They bring different people. Recently they brought a girl who has a very rare condition, and that last week's program broke many people's hearts. At least whatever the lady was talking about, some of us, okay, let's keep it there. Let us not touch the dial. Some of you, you're hearing news. Some of us, people are talking about a life we have lived or living. Good. Thank you, Bamplav. We love you. Otherwise, we love you very much. Continue. You know, when you listen to other people's stories, their journeys, it helps you understand that you're not alone and you can get out of it. Than you just saying, my dear, I have other people who are paralyzed, right? But they have not gotten to a recovery I have. What you see today, has been God. Actually, there is someone who's like, "Nay, Esther, you say you were sick, but for you, you look so normal." It is the grace of God. When God chooses you to serve Him. That is why many people thought I was lying. The thing you said I lied about happened 3 times in my life. And whenever it happens, I am a girl. When I'm sick, I hide. I get it from my father. The young girl shared her story. You watch Bump Love of last Friday. That girl's story. Some of us are going through the same thing, but you don't know what God is doing. Sometimes that's why I don't tell people what I'm going through, and I keep it to myself. Because with Esther, God has allowed me to look so normal. People have gone through dialysis. because high blood pressure can affect your organs. We have walked. Now this is the 19th year. The doctor said, last year, the doctor told me, young girl, what is wrong with you? Everything is normal. The only thing I see that is challenging is you're anemic. But everything is normal. I smiled and he's like, by the way, I love your attitude. The first time I went to hospital here, the doctor said, young kakaro, we have to work on you from your hair to your feet. When I went for my teeth, 15. A set is how many? We removed it 2. I almost died with the pain. We removed it 2. Cleaned 15. I have a sweet tooth. I used to buy a bag of Eclair and put it in my bag. It is my father and my grandmother who love sweets so much. And I think my aunt. These are trends you get from parents. The names I carry, she's a firstborn to her dad. My mother is a firstborn. And each one of us has had something chronicle. I'm showing you a pattern. I'm not telling you that God cannot do it. I'm using an illustration for you to understand so that you can help yourself. Help the police for the police to help you. You might be there and going on timo mukodo. Nenga siye go ye tatawo yali mukodo manatu. Oba mama nga yali mukodo tatawo tagaba tayagala omuwa. Kati nga nawe boto ofaanana manatu. Kati twagala tukuyambe kubanga tutagala kwongerayo bukodo bwa kitaawo. Just ngamba ko bugambi kati nga gwonyiga oli mukodo nga tatawo ne tatawo bwatu nakuulirako ng'onyumya tatawo teyabalabirira alina agayisa agavundu naawe ogenda kafubutukayo woti nga naawe agayisa go ga kitaawo ne ngamba yiye mbadde mmanyi olina kyewayiga naye nneero kyeyongerayo n'agayisa ga tatawo yali tayagala abantu wadde naawe walokoka naye obuzaalirwa nabukyaliyo kati n'ekitaawo naye wate watunula naawe wootunula nengamba yiye mukama katonda wange kiki kye tuliko naawe ofaanana nga kitaawo oyo gw'otunyumiza ate abalabirira tabayagala nengamba bannange watunyumiriza ati taatawo teyayagala maamawo balwana bulwanyi omusajja nagenda n'azaalazaala eyo kukuba naye ate naawe yesu walokoka naye agayisago kati tozadde eyo naye olina obuwala bw'ozannyazannya nabwe eyo ozannyisa ekiriba embwa ezannyisa ekiriba mukwano sitaani ajja kukuba engwala. You are joking. Tatawo yali mutamiivu tagaba mukodo naye era naawe mu famire yammwe era waliwo obuzzukulu obutunula nga jjajja waabwe nyumirwa nnyo okulira agaboozi gammwe ge mutunyumiza ebibakwatako ngenda okutunuulira booti nga katrendi keekamu ne ngamba musumba wanditulese n'otatunyumiza bikukwatako naye era gwe tokiraba nti trend ebatawaanya gwe tokiraba obuuza kimu tosaba mu nnimi mukwano oyo omwoyo omutukuvu ffenna bwatukako ffenna tusaba mu nnimi naye tetuzikunkumulanga ezizo ate ezo ziri so hypocritical ate mukoppa nankoppe era n'ozaala obwana nabwo nga bufaanana mbeera awo gasikitegeera ne ngamba ye mukama katonda wange ffe nga tuluguddemu okutambula n'omuntu omukodo ng'ono kale tusomeyo ekyawandiikibwa kubanga kati mmanyi kyolinze abantu tebagamba nti mbuulira enjiri yange nsirike kale yenjiri yange era ngenda kubuulira nsirike oba nteekeko nti nze motivational speaker nedda mukwano siri motivational speaker. I'm just a service provider in line with the word of God, using our general lifestyle in line with the word of God. Yes, sorry for the sad talk, but it is the real talk. Sirinayo ndala, munasonyiwa. Kubanga toyinza kugamba nti oyagala muntu. Nezija nekugamba munnange genda, munnange temunjagala n'oyomba. Oyagala kati tukwagale tutya nenga bannange muweereza wa Mukama maama taata omukulembeze waffe omubwati gwe tokiraba kyokola nengamba Esther bwenva ku bantu kampeereze yantoma mbategeeze kyagamba ntambule ngende bw'oli kitegeera kyentegeeza ne weeyamba njagala weeyambe ng'okyali mulamu kubanga abaana bo bali ebintu ebyo baakuyonka baayonka obuyisa bw'obubi maama fulaska taata siidi kati bw'otakiyonka ku maama ate taata yasooka okubeera nakyo. A mother multiplies the father's bondage. Deliverance from the house, from the bondage of my father's house. Pastor Apostle James Cavalier wrote that book. Please get a copy and help yourself because the bondages of your father's house. Bwebasaidia mama osi ye yali enkodo, eyatata wo yenkodo, eyatata we esabiriza, mama wa asabiriza, mwagala okubafaako temufa ku bantu, tebibakwatako ndyoka n'okulowooza tekwagala nnyo mannaalo. Onjagala nnyo nga toyagala taata wange. Onjagala nnyo nga togenda kulaba maama wange. Awo ye ondaga otya nti onjagala? By telling people ffenno tumwagala oyo ebiriwo. Teekako ku bikolwa. Linnya ennyonyo gy'ondabe. Naye bw'olinnya ennyonyo okoma eyo nze nkunoonye sente zikunoonya sizirina. Tulina abaana e Uganda tugenda school fees week. Kati nze nsasula $2 ninnya ennyonyi nzigye wooli nkulaga nti nkwagala. Kasita nsharinga ministry yo. Ekyo sikukwagala, sikuteeka ku status yange buli lunaku. Siteekako hasoyo. Ne ngamba abantu kino tuli naawe. Sibategeeza. Abadde. Bondages. Please get this book and help yourself. Search reflect. Nja kubawa address. Munoonye the name is on social media. Put James Kawalia. Kawalia is Kawalya. I met him in Nairobi. I was going to work on my things and I was invited to a church where he had gone to minister. I was taken to a ministers' conference, deliverance conference for ministers, because also ministers need deliverance. Why was I being taken to a ministers' conference? Did the person who took me know that I'm a minister? It is just in their blood. Some of us work with our things. Good. Otherwise get deliverance from bondages of my father's house. Because ngenda nekutunuliranga ka pattern ka kitaawo. Wakayonka kali musaayi mwe katambulira oli mukodonga kitaawo. Ne taata wo mpuliranga abantu bamukaaba ewaabwe. Oli mukambwe nga kitaawo, oli mukodonga kitaawo. Oli mukodonga nnyoko. Ne maama wo mukodo. Ate maama wo alina n'olugambo, naawe olina olugambo. Ne ngamba, ezo pattern ennakukomere. Kati ate muzadde abaana. Ne ngamba, muli bakodo. N'omukodo abeewuunya. Munnamwe n'afiirwa ku group ne mumutunuulira. Tosobola kugenda kuba essimu. Muyina data. Buli lunaku oteeka ku status y'ebintu. Toyinza kuŋŋamba nti toyina. Uganda, my motherland. I love you so much, but you break my heart once in a while. Abali awo woza, omwana agambye mbwe n'eddogo mu family. Naye kwagamba emuntunulira weeba tino olowooza sirina amatu. Bino biki? Ganno gaki. Nze tonyumizanga witchcraft mukwano. Nja kuwaayo erinnya lyo. Nze toddangamu okwegaana. Ate toddangamu okuwuliriza omuntu nga nkugamba. Nja kuwaayo erinnya lyo. Oba bye mwagala nja kuliwaayo n'obwana bw'ombugambe buswale. Weegaana. Esther nja kwegaana kubanga gwe nakolanga naye eddogo yafa. Kale. Sikayana nawe nga nnumba mwene Katonda yakutonda ng'akwambula ng'obwana bwo bukusanga nga wenyookeza. Obuloza sikusobola. You play around. Olaba balogera mu kanisa. Kyokka Katonda wange. Mwoza mbuna eddogo teririyo. Teri ddogo eri Isirayiri. Ogo Isirayiri. Yaya jakuloga. Kwezi empisa embi z'olina. The devil agenda kutula mu bukodo bw'olina balyoke bakugobe ku mulimu. Ya Esther tekeraawo lekeraawo tukumanyi. Nedda mbagambako bugambi. Waliwo ebintu ebitandikutuuseeko. Naye entambula yaffe mbi. Kati gw'ogamba abagenze ne babba ne benda. Nedda mukwano. Yaŋŋamba empisa zaffe mbimu nga nsomesa Second Chronicles tukisoma. Oli eyo ogiyimba. Naye wickedness yekka gw'olina. Oli wicked. Olowooza lwaki musaba nga sente temuzifuna obwavu bwongera balomu? Buuza Mukama nti naye munnange tusiibye ennaku 40. Bayibuli egamba nti waliwo ebitavaawo naye olw'okusiiba n'okusaba. Mukama lwaki? Gwe tobuuza buli ssaawa mweyongera. Mukwano pause. Pause omubuuze naye Mukama kiki ekitukuba? As a country, Uganda, Lord, we were the last country to go into COVID, right? But we are still crawling till date. Mwoyo museve. Mukwano tuddangamu muyisa mukamwako. Nga tonnalumba kisipeke kya mulala njagala otunuulira ekikyo. Nate tunnasoma Chronicles open in Matthew 7. Chi. Oli oyo olingiza ababi. Obalingiza koja. Tobiddangana. Abakadde bamwe ab'ekkanisa bwe bati bakukola mu mulimu gwabwe we bati we bagukola abayitibwa Katonda. Naye abo abakadde bamwe bwe mufukako amafuta. Mukwano ebyo bye mukola ebyo. Mbuno ofuula omukadde w'ekkanisa olw'okuba yasomye piji ekiddi. Nze bangi bentunuulira we bati nga babafudde abasumba babafudde abakadde b'ekkanisa naye nga tekaliimu mu bulaadi. Nga tekaliimu wadde. They cannot stand up and tell someone ekyo kyokoze kibi. Right, kubanga naye abikola. Ereddazi be bali mu kyefu wiipu. Pastor ebyamulema eredda yabikola. Mukwano mulekerawo okubeera confused nti agenze ku ssomero gwe bafuula kino. Nedda, essomero litubangula bubanguzi. School just gives birth to what is inside. School is like a surgeon, a midwife. It is not the school that plants up an elder. They should not lie to you. It is not the school that plants a pastor, an apostle. The already men, you think they went to school. They've just been recognized. Mundeke mwana. Tell your spiritual father, tell you the truth about his lifestyle. The school, they have seen it in Gabakuru. School. Matthew 7. Do not judge and criticize and condemn others unfairly with an attitude of self-righteous superiority as though assuming the office of the judge. Esther, you are judge. Mukana tagenda yeyo. Because that's what you guys said, that I am a judge. Kati kanjisomere ddala ogiwulire. Manyi mugenda ne mwerabira scriptures endala eziri mu Corinthians. I am just doing my work. He enlisted me. He equipped me. And he sent me out. The same Bible you're reading. Kwankati ekukuba. Nakugambye careful with the word of God. Jisome. Do not judge and criticize and condemn others unfairly. These are the scriptures ze musoma mu kanisa zammwe. Pastor ona akalambira. Nagamba they are judging. Yes. Mukano. Pastor. Be careful when you're using the word of God. It's called a double-edged sword. Why would I come here and nkuwayiriza? Oba sikuwayiriza njagala ondageddirwe wangamba good morning. Those are simple small things bwo neglecting. Stani n'abutuulamu n'atubalula. Oli mukulembeze. Njagala ondageddirwe wanziramu good morning. It's just a simple word. No mbuulira udiro waddamu good morning. Anti I am judging you, not so. Bwebityo bwe bibeera nga tulina empisa embi, we look like we are judging, which is fine. Continue. Kati bino bye musomesezza abaana abato. Obuukira scripture nga zino. Mukwano, when you come and read Matthew 7, I want you to be steady in your private wing. I want you to be steady in your private wing. Your private wing has your WhatsApp number. I want you to be very steady. Njagala nga Sitaani bw'akuba akajji bw'ati. Takuba akajji asobola where you have your skeletons. Because the devil wants to dress up that skeleton of yours in the closet. Because I say Ezekiel 37, I don't think I want those bones out. I'm going to bring the hammer and make sure they are dust. And we see whether the devil has the power and the energy to put dust together. Because the only one who can play with the dust is God. So I'm going to knock them down. This is me knocking down your skeletons in the closet. You are joking with us. Muchachi ya mwete babikola. Kambayambe. Let me knock down your skeletons. Olyewe uli musumba mulambo oli ku katuuti. Naye oyina ebiskeletoni munda. Sitaani agenda kuba akajja oswale. Sitaani akozesezza obwo bwana. By the way, nze kati ngamba yes bukozese butumalemu ettumba n'obusirusiru bukozese lwakuba ate bukikola bubi bwebuzi bwe bulina. Togenda kuwalampa abantu obavume gwe faala. You're not qualified. Touch not the anointed. Nabagamba temuwulira. Mukubiddwa kiboko Uganda twakuwa kiboko la Pastor Robert. Nesirikira wetanga mwana. Mukwano, wawulidde agagambo nga bamwogerako tewamukutte. Sikulabangako ng'omukutte ne mu ngalo. He's a human being like any other. I don't defend people's rottenness. Naye rottenness nze gwe sinalaba. Nakugamba nze mpereza ka video. I am good. Nze Esther Solome ndabika ndi mukuimpuitu. Ngenda katambuza. Ngwa mukutte nga mubbi. Ngenda katambuza mubbi bamutambuza ku kyalo. Ne bagenda nga bayimba ku kyalo mubbi abaleeta kiboko ne bazijjayo. Naye nga tonna yassa manti mubbi. Making sure nti toli mubbi. Mukubya abantu ku kyalo ne batuuka okufa. Nga ensi etunula ne mu recording ne mbituweereza. Naye njagala omulete nze ngenda kumutambuza. Gwe kwata kwa poso bunjo ngambe nti mubbi. Talina kyabagamba. Mu okaleete ka video. Ngenda katambuza. Nzo mpita mmere. Babuuze bonna abanyiigira ne blocking nze nkuweereza ebintu nga seebeereddemu. Ngenda kukatambuza. Bano bonna benina muno abantu omutwalo mulamba. Ngenda kukaweereza abroad away and abroad. Ngende nga mutambuza nga ngamba mubbi uyo changa ye wano mubbi uyo mukube ngenda kumutambuza. You joke with me. Ngenda kumutambuza. Nze nyingira buli jenjagala. Nze tonyumiza mbuno pastor omutya. Nze jakka muweereza. Mugambe wabitegedde. Ntekako n'ebigambo wansi ndi good. Tekako n'ebigambo omusajja bamukutte. Mweragala gogena nga muwayira abantu. Ne mukola bu YouTube channel okuba temuyina mirimu obiddanga. Ate nkuwoniza ogusembayo weetegedde. Temugenda kusindikira abantu baffe rubbish. Abantu bafa enjala. Kitudde eri kibwatuka amatama. Temulinake muleeta. Naye bannange mwegendereze. Bannange mbegayiridde mwegendereze. None of us is holy. Naye weegendereze ng'otambuza propaganda about people who help people. Bw'oba owulira nti Pastor Robert state agent, naawe fuuka. Ndabe bw'onooliisa Kalamoja. Esente zigenze Kalamoja, we've sent that money. Esther naawe osindika, abadde atya. olw'okuba ezizo oyagala bazisome eyo miliyoni gye wawaddeyo tukube mu ngalo mukaano baby nze natandika okubeera partner wa Miracle Center Cathedral with 200 shillings tobiddanga namu nze nina emirimu mingi nze ni partner wa Toto Lamina Dera the Roaring Crane inagge nina etoffaali ku Lamina Dera era bwe baba bagaba amatoffaali tino tugedde tugimenyeho batudize amatoffaali gaffe naggeja kugenda yeye Esther nga toyina likodi gy'olimu Lamina Dera y'abantu oba ya Mukama. What are you talking about? Pastor Gary Skinner served for 39 years. Now he's giving the torch to another young man. Not the Lobo. Erinnya lya Lobo linyuma nnyo okwogera. Watoto came to Uganda muna 84. But Pastor Gary Skinner got the torch in 83. My dad interpreted him. Kiki kyotugamba. Tobiddangana. Zeddi mu foundation ya watoto we but Mukama yamusindika mu basajja abayina enkokoto. Atandikira awo enkokoto because as an expatriate you come to the country never kutwala otagenda wa president oba wa kabaka oyina ogenda mu kanisa. Kati Katonda yabaleka ne bajja ekabowa kubanga mulimu omwana wa kabaka baby. Asobola okubasimba amakanda then basobola okuyingira mu leadership nga we baagala good. Ebyo Katonda byakola ngo olina omusaayi gwa loyalty. Nakugamba oba ogwagala Romans 8 oba togwagala toddanga mutuleekaanira. Tobuukanga Romans nogedda mu Peter. Tobiddanga. 8:1-39. Nabawoniga abasuma musomesa abantu bange enjiri ya kiyaye bayina agayisa gavundu ba family members bange. It is because of you. Ye Esther abantu baba already bayina empisa lwaki temuzibagambako ne bazikyusa anti munange effe tebazitulaga ffe wetutyo gwe nga nawe inagayisa agavundu g'okwekeeyo mu private wing yo buli omu wabeera nakugamba tosomesa abantu bange enjiri nvundu tata wange yasoka kulokoka tobiddanga mbalaba family members bange abakolokoka nga bali talugezigezi ne mutunulira weti ne ngamba kati obona omukolera eki wakalokoka wakalaba ukyayina n'agazibu agakutawaanya tubabuulira enjiri egende batwala mu ggulu muyina agazibu gava eno mu famire line gitemugamba nti ayagala agenda wamusumba Tom wekalakasa olwokuba kapasitako kagambye bunno pastor Tom asomesa mizimu oliko ekikyamu oyo pastor wo naye alimu emizimu embalo giyita nnyangu bw'aba takitegeera oli kyasomesa asirika akola ebibye tobiddangamu mwana abasumba ate temujja kunsanyusa nnyo we muti kyotategeera kyesonyiwe embala etukubye taata wo yali mwenzi naawe pasito oyendera ku kituuti ate teri kintu kizibu muntu kusoma bayibuli ng'agitegeera n'agibasomesa nayingira ne mu deliverance naye ng'agoba emizimu gy'abalala ng'ejje tegigenda mwana wa kitange wandindese tonjogeza byamanvaako waliwo abasajja batambudde ne pastor Tom nga zipu ekyabatawaanya naye nga bayimiridde ku bituuti bababuulira enjiri bwe mba nnimba kiwandiikaawo oba deliverance omuyita wa jjajjaawo ntunula bwe nti ne mbasaasira nenga kati nno munnange gw'obulookinga nze weefuula vulugu mukwano weekalakasize kwabo abakulabira ku social media weekalakasize kwabo nze nvaako nze kyoba okola tonkubira mu lujjudde tonkubira katuutiko bw'oba owulira oyagala kunkuba bikonde ennumba good teri kintu kizibu kubanga ogenda mu deliverance ng'osomesa abantu deliverance naye nga gwe wagaana okyuka nga kaklozetiko kakyalina skeleton nakugambye ngenda kuzijjayo nzikuba ennyondo njagala gufuuke dust kubanga sitaani n'amala akwatako ag'amagumba hey mama do not judge and criticize and condemn others unfairly with an attitude of self-righteous superiority as though assuming the office of a judge so that you will not be judged unfairly. For just as you hypocritically judge others when you are sinful and unrepentant, fe tetwetonda. Esther nze seetonda, baby. And I'm like, are you sure? Are you very sure? Engeri gy'okola ekintu n'osaasaanya olugambo olukyamu, n'obeera so comfortable, n'oyimirira katuti n'obuulira abantu enjiri, nga wayonoonya erinnya lya munno olw'okuba waliwo eyakugambye, nga ne evidence we can concoct evidence, please. Obwana bwammwe mwabutwala okusoma IT ne sitaani yajjirako bannange. When God had a meeting in heaven, the devil attended that meeting. He sneaked in. Namugamba Mukama, I have walked on earth and walked, and I saw your servant Job. Let me read that verse. Manyi mugendeyo ne mweragalaga mwatwala obwana kusomera okusoma akaana kasalawo genda mu byakiyayi kati kakozesa IT kubeera kahaaka. Akaana kakwata ebifaananyi ne kabigata. Waliwo we bakwata ekifaananyi kya Zuwena ne bamuwa omutwe nga gugwe nga bode wansi siiye nga bamwambudde, byali mu lupinyi. Around 2000, I was working in Makerere at a time. 2011, 2010, because I started working in Makerere in June 2010. Nebifuluma lupinyi ebipapula byammwe ebyo lupinyi teyali red pepper oba onion. Bebe ojjukira bebe lwe baamukuba amasasi. Oli n'agenda n'akwata ekifaananyi. Kati ndaba bano abeekalakasa bali ku mulembe guno. Singa mwali ku mulembe gw'abo abavubuka nga bakyeyiiya nga bakyalinnya. Nga bakyekuba amagye amavundu. Kati emyaka gye balimu myaka 4, ku myaka 4 mukyekuba amagye amavundu. Kati buno buwanayinki obwakatandika myaka 3 olukagamako nga kaliikaana nga kasiba abantu n'obutunuulira kwega nembalaba nembasaasira nengamba nomwe gye muva eriyo ekikyamu. Because if you ever want to be better, omanyi mwagala okufaanana baselebrity b'ebweru, mwagala okufaanana anti ebweru eriyo baselebrity nga basumba, celebrities who are in the music department, celebrity who are into entrepreneurship, media, the 7 spheres. The celebrities, the homes, maternity reality shows. Those are things they do here. Naye abantu bonna ababikola, they are broken. But in a very bad background. And most of them never healed. So taking their lives is easy. Kubanga basirevuzi. When you carry a slave's blood, you're in trouble. Naye engeri nti sinze mbaza ate sibitegeera nnyo ngwamu bigwe saagina na Bible college emanyi, kati si mbatunuulira just. Job chapter 1. There was a man in the land of Uzi whose name was Job, and that man was blameless and upright. Kati gwe wenkutunuulira gwagamba we are judging you. Mukwano. And that man was blameless and upright, and one who feared God with reverence and abstained from and turned away from evil because he honored God. The devil is going to ask, the only time the devil touches you is when he asks for permission, please. The devil has no authority over you. You're the one who gives the devil authority when you sin. Big or small, sin is sin. Bagenda kugoba ku mulimu. Ogambe you, what wrong did I do? Naye ndabika ndiko rejection. This time round it's not a rejection. It is because of your sinful nature. You don't love God's people. You're just a user. And God is tired because his people are dying. And they are dying of things caused by human beings. Because a human being has not yet gotten a revelation that the devil roams around and we have housed the devil. oli engeri gyagamba emizimu tegiriiyo natunuulira baaposo bamwe basimanya baprofeti bamwe I look and I'm like man mpozi ani spiritual father wo ngenda oba tunuulira abamugamba ba spiritual abula Ugandans and having spiritual fathers abroad munsanyuse manyi nze batunuulira manyi I just keep quiet nze I don't like certain things I am not manyi nze mbadde mu foundation ya salvation in Uganda nsirika busirisi don't just carry my ears mutugende wa prophet gundi simanyi wa apostle gundi ebyo nze munange nze ndi old school nze ndi old timer ntule eno neŋŋamba mukulukute n'agantu gamma aga corporate nze sisobola corporate salvation simusobola sigenda kusamira nga ndaba muli mu kanisa naye mukimanyi nti abamu muli mu ssabo olowooza essabo likozesa ki bakozesa concept ya bayibuli bulijjo tekimanyi katonda esti just leave me alone ndeka mukana nze kyenagwako sikitegeera butegeeza mutule mu bitu byammwe ne babalimbalimba bali mu bayibuli I was like oh my goodness what on earth are we doing nabagamba muddeyo ku nnono mugende mukuma ebyoto nenkola nti nenga concept y'ekyoto nga mwagikopa mu bayibuli nentunuulira omuntu nga explaininga Genesis chapter 1 ekyo kyampangula nakaaba nezijako essimu yange neŋŋalaba abasiru nga bonna bali mesmerized bali wati Genesis chapter 1 neŋŋamba mbadde manyi we go to church to pray. These guys don't read Genesis. There is nothing the Muganda has told you abali munono that is outside the word of God. Olaba ne Yobu balina erinnya lye babikyuseeyo balina engeri gye babikutingamu n'ogamba yaayi. Verse 6, I was looking for verse 6. I was showing you, verse 1 is showing you who Job was. Your lifestyle. Your personal lifestyle. I'm not talking about your group lifestyle. Nebi byokole eyo ngoli mu service ya Mukama. Kati wane ebyange kirasi ziri personal. Nga toyinako kataita kagenda kakulekanya. Because before you became what you are, you started by being a child. But as a child, has anyone taught you about adulting? Before you became an apostle, do you know that you were once an apostle in your mother's womb? They did not give birth to you. Esther mnange nasanga omusajja ye yagamba nampa ekirabo ky'okubeera apostle. Omusajja kyagaba ebirabo. Mundeke. Munange omusajja yampa manto ye. Omusajja agenda kuwa manto ye nga Mukama yakulonda dda nga n'oyo omusajja tannakusanga. But because mu church yamwe tebabisomesa n'obitegeerera. Kyekyo lwaki babambaza manto enkyamu. Oli yagikwambaza olw'okuba akwagala. God told Elijah about Elisha. God told Samuel about David. You who is being ordained, has God told you the past about you? God tells so and so that I want that boy. Pastor Akolat. And he, instead of calling the other boy, Pastor, never bring your child in a position that is for another child. Mutabani wo bagenda kumukuba. Verses 6. Now there was a day when the sons of God, angels, came to present. Job was very rich. Omanyi muberere mugamba muti muli bagagga. Kanya gwe ntusome enveeyo kubanga tulina okuddayo mu Matthew 7. Nkulaga gy'owozza mbu you are judging your lifestyle. There was a man in the land of Uzi whose name was Job, and that man was blameless and upright, and one who feared God with reverence and abstained from and turned away from evil. He abstained. What is abstinence? What is to abstain? Please yangu wagoziramu awo go typing amanyi wagenze data toyina data ogenze mbo olugambo olina okulaba n'amawulire g'olugambo ku makya. It is 10 a.m. Ugandan time. Kati tombuzabuza. Muina body meeting. Ogenze kuteesa ki? What is so funny? Ku mirimu gyammwe. You make sure you do things perfect. Wanga bagenda kugoba. Ate ku church n'okolagadira engalye. Oba mugende ng'oli pastor. Oli evangelist ogoba abantu gwe. Olwoko ina big following. Or was I never no again that Mukwano, let me tell you something. Never open your mouth like that if you're in service of God. You can open your mouth when it's man service, not God service.